thanks to Hemant. Time and again, it was not only about education, it was not only about you have to do well in what you're doing, your subjects, your work, but it was about building your inner strength, looking good, feeling confident, dressing well.
Are your fingernails clean?
Clean, yeah. We used to be graded for each and everything. Everything was to be immaculate. I remember every time he saw us on a sewing machine without our 4-inch heels, stilettos, he would say, "What is wrong with you girls? You should be able to run a marathon with those shoes." So, thanks to him, today this has become a part of life. And I think this is the education when clubbed with passion, because when I joined the fashion industry, it was about trying to make new clothes for oneself. Today it's about styling and being on page 3. But Hemant, at that time, had just started films. Xerxes Batena was there on films. And every time I looked up to them, I would say, one day I want to be there.
The fact that you are a fashion icon of our generation, what is the role that you feel that a stylist plays for your personal dressing versus your filming, your film dressing?
Hi, everyone. Wow, I see all these meandering minds. You're listening to half the stuff they're saying. You want to come back into the room? Those tilted heads. Are you guys all here? Yes. You can do better. Are you guys all here in the room? Yes. Much better. Nice. Always happens when too many people talk too much and such interesting things. It's so important for us to consume everything. And I have to say that, when I was seeing all of you, I almost felt like, and I have to give all 3 of you credit, I almost felt like swapping places. I don't honestly deserve to be on this dais with all 3 of you. Thank you very much for making me a part of this. This is absolutely fantastic, extremely honorable. But coming back to my question, are all of you fashion students here? Do you have like different divisions? Because I'm ignorant, just clue me in. So you have different divisions of fashion and you design. That's fantastic. So, I'm going to talk a little bit more about, there's a lot I'd like to share. And the only way we can do that, apart from answering her question, is if all of you shoot out questions at us, which would make this a lot more interesting and more fun. Do you guys want to do that? Yes. Okay, lovely. So I'm going to answer your question, and then we'll just become a bunch of happy people talking to each other. So your question was, the importance of a stylist. I have to say it's more than having a stylist around you. Firstly, there's this big understanding that people don't understand the difference between fashion and style. They're two extremely confused words. Fashion is something that changes every day. Unfortunately, fashion is something that's the most disloyal social plague that we all suffer from, because today somebody is in fashion, somebody is in vogue, something is in fashion, something is in vogue. Tomorrow, boom, it's gone. How do you maintain that? How do you maintain the truth of understanding the fact that fashion belongs to no one? The only way you do it is by having style. It's really important, and style is something that nobody can give you. It has to be inherent. It has to be something that just comes from within. It has to be an understanding of the fact that you have to be extremely comfortable with the person you are. And, I know at some point Mr. Ghai brought in, the aspect of the occurrence of soul when you come to dressing up. I know Hemant brought in emotion. Neeta brought in passion. All these things are things that make you stylish. And that is the key. And even with all of you, you have to understand that today you feel, this one passed out in the same batch as me, and, his gown is a bestseller. But you know what you actually think you're good at? Because tomorrow, that's going to change. Fashion industry is something that belongs to no one. Today, a model's doing well or a makeup artist is doing well. And that's the truth. It's the backstage, it's the green room truth. So, just to let you all know that having a stylist, to answer your question, is important. But having somebody who's brutally honest and tells you how good or bad you are in your life is the most important thing. So when you're building your team, don't get a bunch of fashionable people. Get a bunch of people who are inherently stylish and who are brutally honest, because they're the ones who actually put you out there. Luckily for me, a lot of people think I'm stylish. I don't know why, but that's a good thing for me. But I have two people back home who always tell me what's good for me and what's not. One's a really dear friend of mine called Chola, who a lot of people are familiar with in this room, because she's also a very important person's daughter who's sitting here, sitting right there. And I also have my mum. And, you know, they're the two people in life who make me stylish, only because they're honest, because they know that, you know, if it looks good, like you said, on the hanger, I might have to argue that a little bit. It may or may not look good on you. That's right. And, you know, that's the truth. You need to put it on. You have to be honest. And even with all of you, you're budding fashion designers, and all of them, they've done this, you know. And when you have a client in front of you, or if you have an actor in front of you, and that's the reason why they're all so successful, is because they always have this feeling of trust, of honesty that you need to have in a green room. You can correct me if I'm wrong, or in a trailer, and say, okay, this is not looking good. Because at the end of the day, it's not that person, it's your outfit as well, and it's what you create. So, you know, these are the little things that you need to be very certain about. You need to understand that the fabrics that you get are only going to be as many. The things that you get to play around are going to be only as many. But like Neeta said, you know, she was creating dhoti, mal pants. And you know what? Even, I don't know how many years ago that was, but I would wear them even today. And that's what's stylish, and that's what's cool about, you know, all of them. Or like I would see Hemant's gowns. I've been for Miss India and Miss Universe, and I've never had a chance to say this to Hemant. And
she has actually, several times.
Yeah, but I still remember the minute I won my Miss India, and I was like, I'm going to go to Miss Universe, and I was like, oh my God, is Hemant Trivedi really going to make a gown for me? You know, like it was stuff like that. But you don't know, you know, these are little things that dreams are made of. But having said that, all I want you all to know is that don't take it seriously. You're not in a business that's meant to be taken seriously. You're in a business that's meant to have fun with. You know, you're not in there to, it's not about, with anything that you do, that is not bookish. If you're not being an engineer or a bank, or even, in fact, if you do that, it's not about accumulation of wealth. It's about creating something beautiful. At the end of the day, your books don't have to say, oh, मैंने इसके 2500 piece बेचे, और मैंने इस blouse के 1500 piece बेचे. So at the end of the day, or at the end of the year, our net worth is 100 crores. That's not what you need to get at. You need to make that one iconic look. Like, I'll give you examples, like talking about being iconic. Like, I don't know, I mean, you were going back into film, and how many of you know this actress from the 1920s called Louis Brooks? That's fine. It's okay. So I'll tell you why she became one of the most fashionable people, and she became the most photographed woman of her time. If you go back and you Google her, she's the one who has the bob cut, and she would wear all these hats and feathers in the 1920s. And she did silent movies. So the only thing that spoke was her style. The only thing that spoke was the way she looked. And, you know, it's the creator of that look who didn't think, oh no, I have to go ahead and do so many more movies to make sure that I need to be noticed. It's about creating that one look. And she's the first actress who actually had a bob cut on screen, when at that time all women were supposed to look feminine and with long hair. Moving on, you know, you had, how many of you, please say yes to this one. How many of you know Audrey Hepburn? Okay, great. So moving on, the little black dress, I mean.
So needless to say, taking from what Neha is saying, you know who Coco Chanel is.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. So, you know, and that's what it is. It's about being stylish. It's about making sure the little black dress that was introduced in the 50s. Is that my time off? Because the mic has stopped working. Okay. Okay, now it's working again. So, you know, like, we still have a little black dress in our wardrobe. Or moving on, you know, you had James Dean, Marlon Brando. These are the guys who made the leather jacket cool, you know. it's not about anything else. It's because these guys were stylish and they believed that wearing a leather jacket was just the coolest thing to do. Or we love Sarah Jessica Parker because of Sex and the City. We love Devil Wears Prada. We love September Issue. We love Gossip Girl. I know a lot of guys out there watch Gossip Girl as well. They might not agree. But I'm just saying that these are the things, they make these people stylish. And it's just very important. I think the one thing that's larger than fashion is to have style. And that's one thing that all of you need to remember, because that's the only thing that's going to last forever. Because fashion changes with every movie that comes out, I promise you. It belongs to no one. But these two, it belongs to them because they're bloody good at it.